Ethiopia has many interesting and attractive man-made and natural attractions. We would like to make Lake Tana our destination in Hamara National Regional State, which is the center of our country's tourism activity, which is blessed with a great number of tourist destinations and wonderful sensory. Lake Tana, the biggest lake in Ethiopia, which is located in the northwest part of Ethiopia and ranked the 10th in Africa, following Lake Victoria, Tanganyika, Malawi, Chad, Bengaluru, Rudolph, Albert, Mauro, and Koyago. The lake currently covers an area of 316,000 square kilometers, and the total area of the basin covers more than 15,000 square kilometers. For this basin coverage, 45%, 6,958.85 square kilometers has been registered as UNESCO Biosphere Reserve since 2007-8 EC.
The lake has a very great importance for the community or the country as well as the globe. We can say that. For example, it has a very critical and important advantage on the economic aspects of the area or the country. For example, we are producing electric power using the hydro power, and as you know, the lake is very useful for the fisheries. So a lot of fisheries can get a lot of economical sources and economical activities. The other one is the lake has its own importance on the climate change, not only on the climate change, but it balances the surrounding atmosphere. For example, as you know, Bahar Dar is hot area, but due to the lake, there is air circulation from the lake, so the city is cool and very impressive for recreation and living in the town. The other important thing is the social aspect of the lake, the advantage of the lake in relation with the social aspect. There are different religious activities, especially the Orthodox Church is very, for the Orthodox Church, it is very, very important lake because most of the monasteries found in the lake. So it is the source of history in the region because of the churches, because the church has been built during the previous or I think in different time periods. So that is we can say that Lake Tana is the source of our history. So Lake Tana's importance or the advantage or the importance of Lake Tana is very critical, and we can define with words because Tana is everything.
Lake Tana has average altitude elevation of 1,800 meters above sea level, and the highest point of the lake is at the foot of the Ararat Hill, and its height is 1,994 meters above sea level. The lake has distance of 84 kilometers from the north to south and 66 kilometers from east to west. The maximum depth of the lake is around 40 meters, and the average depth is believed to be 8 meters. The lake is bordering their 3 administrative zones, 11 waradas, and 64 tribes of the Amara region, including Bahar Dar city and 36 tribes in the northwest part of the lake area where weeds is found. Tana is home to many rivers, wetlands, religious and historical monuments, and monasteries. Many biodiversity and rivers train. The main water source of Lake Tana is groundwater surrounding springs, rivers, and rainwater. Lake Tana is fed by more than 60 small springs and 5 large rivers: Gilgalabay, Rib, Kumara, Magaj, and Arno. After leaving or traveling 35 kilometers southeast the lake, these major rivers creates a field known as the Nile Fields, which is a rare tourist attraction during winter season. The water of Lake Tanas is used for irrigation, transportation, fishing, human and the animal drinking, sanitation, hygiene, tourism, hydroelectric power generation, and habitat for various fauna and flora, or animal and plants. The daily activity and livelihood security of surrounding communities are highly linked with the lake. Although the lake is located in one region, it has ecological and socio-economic importance from transboundary for the other region of the country. Therefore, consider this above mentioned resource base it has been deciding as a development zone of the national and regional level.
Since 2015, because of its high biodiversity and because of its interaction, because of its home of for different birds, including the European birds. So for this reason, Lake Tana is acknowledged by UNESCO and registered as UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. So what is the advantage of being registered by UNESCO is because it implies that the lake is safe, the lake is a world healthy environment, so tourists can go there and enjoy. Researchers can go there because there are a large number of biodiversity and so on. So for this,
normally displayed as indices for commodities, and local transports are giving in different direction like Gorgora, Unzila, Delgi, and other very long distance of crossing the Lake Tana, giving still the government transporters. There are small tourist boats are normally displayed all around the lakes. Usually such kind of boats have got different kind of motor engine boarded, so still giving and focusing for tourists. Tourists mainly for domestic and international tourists. So the big ferries normally like this, the belongs to the government, for local transport and commodities, and always giving services from different direction of the lakes. So Lake Tana, you can see, one of the biggest, the most biggest lake normally in Ethiopia, and the third biggest in Africa. The lake actually neither the watershed nor the crater, but normally suggested to have been a result of a barrier massive extra of lava formed at the volcanic activities like 20 million years before. As you can see, the lakes are fresh water, is not salt. In the morning is very stable, is very quiet like this. That's the day. In the afternoons, just a little bit windy and strong. So especially trips, so much exciting and very delighting, especially in the morning time because of the weather. So on the lake, there are certain aquatic life like fish, catfish, tilapia, Nile perch are very common, and some kind of bird life as well, which tourists, especially bird watcher tourists, normally have its own different places to observe birds like great white pelican, jacana, fish eagle, African darter, cormorant. Those are the most beautiful predominant birds in many parts of the lakes, and as well hippopotamus too. The hippos basically mainly focusing on the source and the outlet of the Nile River down there, look over there. So Lake Tana is also the mothers and the Niles which started and the outlet around a place named Debra Mariam.
The other significance of the lake is for tarfute fish. There are and various studies indicate that there is a potential to produce 15,000 tons of fish through recuperative and modern means of production. However, the fishing activity around the lake has not changed from the traditional method of production. Lake Tana and its surroundings are one of the most productive area growth corridor in the region, especially the country in general. It is an area where agricultural activity are carried out due to its potential for variety and productivity, in particular for industrial inputs like flax, cotton are widely produced, and mango, avocado, papaya, potato, gesho, lomino, cabbage, onion, other plants and products used for cattle feed are produced.
Lake Tana and its environment has paramount importance.
Different research and academic institutions are working on different aspects to prevent Lake Tana. Especially nowadays, the lake is very infested by water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is a very critical and herbaceous or invasive species in the world. So these research institutes and universities around the lake are trying to work to control water hyacinth, to know the causes for what are the causes for the expansion and the growth of water hyacinth, what are the major factors for the expansion of water hyacinth, why water hyacinth is being safer in Lake Tana than other lakes. For example, you can consider Zwai and other Rift Valley lakes. So Lake Tana is very suitable for the expansion of water hyacinth because in different parameters the lake is very, very suitable for the expansion, for the growth of the water hyacinth and other invasive species or aquatic plants. So the research institutes, especially the universities, trying to solve, to know the main challenges of the lake based on scientific approaches and scientific methods. But still, as you know, there is no the removal and the reduction or the minimization of the water hyacinth is still a great challenge, because water hyacinth is expanding from time to time and from season to season. So nowadays the coverage of the water hyacinth is almost the eastern part or the eastern shore of the lake is covered by water hyacinth. The current situation is very critical to manage and to remove the water hyacinth from the lake. So there are different challenges in general, but the researchers and the academicians are trying to put their own roles on the removal and management of the lake.
Lake Tana is the owner of many abundant resources and blessings, but currently it is highly exposed to man-made and natural disasters. Among these problems that the Lake Tana is facing is expansion of farms to wetlands, and this leads to loss or destruction of wetlands. In addition to this, soil erosion and facing deforestation of natural forests coupled with urban demand for wood continues to be the case of biodiversity loss.
ተሟል ጣና ተሟል ጎበዝ ታጋል ችግር ንቀል እርም አርገው እርም የኛ ጣና አይቀርም።
The expansion of the cities around the lake and the law controlling mechanism of garbage or waste material like plastic into the lake, causing the lake to become polluted and reducing the water level and the lake becoming at risk. You will be more sad when you think of the cities that do not fail, the pollution of the water and the environment, including the hostels in the city. Tana is beauty, wealth, and life.
activities has to be there. So accountability goes first. We all share our accountability for not implementing the right way. That's why Lake Tana is still in problem. But I hope we have already established the framework. For example, if you take the water hands case, before the establishment of our agency, there was, it's very difficult to touch the issue of water hands, so it's beyond our capacity. But if you go to each Kefyalew in Lake Tana border, every individuals acknowledge that we can do it. We can do it, but we have to be organized.
In addition to the man-made problems, Tana is facing with many natural disasters, mainly invasive weeds that is currently causing the great damage of the lake.
ተሟል ተሟል ጣና ተሟል ጎበዝ ታጋል ችግር ንቀል እርም እርም አርገው እርም የኛ ጣና ጣና አይቀርም።
Among the problems caused by sedum in the water, reducing and destroying biodiversity, preventing oxygen from the enter the water from the air, reducing the quality of the water and preventing the water from entering the irrigation pipes are mentioned. Therefore, unless we reduce the man-made and natural disasters that facing Lake Tana, it exposes for Tana's illness, eliminated the water level and safety in a sustainable manner.
Tana is the home of many diversity characters and is a great contributor to the development of the region. In the other word, we need to emphasize the value of nature by improving it, enhancing social interaction and serving as economic sources.
Researchers and the academicians are trying to put their own roles on the removal and management of the lake. So the main challenges for the lake are the anthropogenic activities around the Lake Tana basin. You know that the Tana basin covered South Gondar area, North Gondar area, and the Western Gojam areas. So these areas are very suitable for agriculture, and agricultural practice is very common. Even the density of the population is very high in these areas. So the anthropogenic activity is very, very critical for the pollution and the destruction of the lake in general. For example, if we take the agricultural practice, it is very traditional. So the application of fertilizer is very traditional. The application of pesticide, insecticide is very traditional. So these applications can join the lake through the runoff activities, because our watershed activity or soil water conservation activities in the basin is very limited, and almost they are not constant, they are not sustainable. So the nutrients that are very important for the growth of water hyacinth is drained to the lake because of the runoff by different rivers like Gumara, Rib, Magach, and the Gilgil Abai rivers. So nowadays the lake is being a suitable area for the expansion of the aquatic plants, not aquatic animals. For example, water hyacinth is one of the very critical and dangerous species in the world. So this species is being very critical disadvantage for the lake, because it increases the evapotranspiration rate of the lake. So the lake evapotranspiration increasing by the expansion of water hyacinth, because the water hyacinth leaf is very broad and very thick and very green. So this is or this wider and very green plant facilitates to speed up the evapotranspiration rate of the lake. That means it affects the hydrology of the lake. The other point is the water hyacinth coverage is affecting the transportation system of the lake. For example, the tourist transportation, the fisheries transportation, etc. So all these activities are affecting by the expansion of water hyacinth. So this is or the main important source of all this challenge or this problem is the lake is being polluted and being eutrophic and being suitable for the expansion or the growth of the aquatic plants. So the aquatic plant is decreasing the aquatic animals like the fish, because the fish needs suitable environment for its living. So the water hyacinth decreasing the dissolved oxygen. Dissolved oxygen is very critical for the life of the fishes, because the fish can use the dissolved oxygen. So this dissolved oxygen is reduced by the water hyacinth expansion and coverage of the lake. So generally the lake is in danger, and the main challenge is catchment activities like the agriculture, the water and soil conservation activities. They are not sustainable. They are always working on campaigns. You know that the campaign work is very critical in the catchment. So all these things and challenges push the lake to be polluted and to be in danger in general. So Lake Tana is very great resource for the community, for the country, but our management is not sustainable. So the lake is going on in a very critical situation.
Our inability to prevent the challenges facing Lake Tana and its surroundings leads rapidly reducing the area of Lake Tana, the flora and the fauna and around it. This is a fact that is directly affecting the daily life of the community. The proof of this problem is showing in fish production, especially the type of fish commonly called bazu, which is still declining. Lake Tana and its surroundings have become less and less due to the waterlogged land and the phyla and papyrus in it. Currently, it is limited to the western part. Therefore, instead of bequeathing whales to our children, it is our duty and responsibility to preserve the remaining whales and pass it on to the next generation. If a solution to these challenges is not taken immediately, the fact to Tana Lake disappear like Haramea.
Tana is beauty, Tana is whales, Tana is life. So protecting Tana would mean protecting ourselves. Thank you so much.